Hello. Can I get. There we go. I got some Earthbound music. Home Sweet Home playing in the phones right now. And let's talk about self expression, particularly as it pertains to games, I guess. Expressing yourself through a game, any kind of game, really. But most importantly, I want to talk about like Bobby Fischer, but we'll get into that in a second. My dad and we used to play chess a lot together, and I remember the first time he told me like you should play a game of chess against yourself. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I tried it, and I swear it connects something in your brain that just doesn't naturally do it on its own until you do something like playing a game of chess against yourself. And I learned a lot about self expression from doing that. And of course, let me think. One, two, three gardeners just all turned on their power tools right as I hit the record button. For some reason, my phone is an object of power from the control universe. It's pretty weird. I don't know why it does these things. But, in expression through games, the reason I'm talking about this is the Final Fantasy XI. I don't want to sub ninja demand avoidance, persistent demand for autonomy that seems to exist because subbing ninja is the meta that everyone's against it. No one wants to do it. And I understand where people are coming from. Again, it's about self expression. But there's self expression in a competitive environment against other people. And then there's self expression in a teamwork environment. These are two wildly different things. I think that people just think of them as one thing. And that's a mistake, but I just want to talk about self expression in a competitive environment. One of the ones my brother and I think will always remember is we were playing Scattergories. If you don't know, it's a game where you roll a pretty, I think it's like a 24 sided die. I don't remember what letter isn't on it or what two letters aren't on it. But you have a list of like topics and you have to write something based on each category and prompt that begins with the letter of the dice that you rolled. And we play, the typical way where you only get a point if someone else approves of your answer and is like, yo, that's good, you deserve a point for that one. And we play it where everyone at the table's vote counts for a point. So if like three people really like the response, then you got 3 points for that response. And most of the time, because I used to read the dictionary for fun, because I think it's fun to expand your vocabulary. It's enjoyable to develop diverse lexicons. I know a lot of words. And I usually get really fiercely competitive, but sometimes it's not always about that. Sometimes it's not always about winning. And my favorite one ever was we rolled M, and for all 10 answers, I just wrote Michael Jackson. Some of them ended up being incredibly funny. I was trying to lose that round by just being an S posting troll, but like 5 of them had so many people busting up that like 7 people at the table were just like, no, you get a lot of points for that one. I ended up winning that round by putting Michael Jackson for every answer. But anyway, that's just, to me, that's an important thing as well. So I'm one of the most competitive people you're ever going to meet. You don't want to play against me in Smash Brothers. I'm the kind of person who's going to make you uncomfortable. That's all I want to say about that. In game and outside of it, believe me, I know how to mess with people. I have ruined top tier players with Mr. Game and Watch by just playing like a baffling idiot and frustrating them so much that they lose all of their rhythm and all of their cadence. And then they start playing poorly. There's more than one way to compete against somebody and fight against them. And my wife and I were playing Persona 5, and I really like Hifumi Togo, the shogi player. I like her story, I like her character, and I just resonate with her, you know? The way that she really got into shogi when she was young was by role playing that she is the queen of the army and she's commanding the troops of the Togo kingdom. And whenever she has like a really good move, you know, she like stands up, picks her piece up like she's about to bring divine judgment down from the heavens, and with two fingers slaps that piece right onto the board as loudly as possible, shouting out anime attack names for the moves that she's doing. Because that's how she developed her strategies. She role played as a queen over her kingdom, and, you know, thought deeply about the lives of the people that she was commanding into battle, not wanting to needlessly sacrifice them, and that was just how she got good at shogi. I love that story. I think it's awesome. But playing through that and going through that character story again, you know, it just really reminded me of just what Bobby Fischer was saying, you know, near the end of his life. You know, he was one of the greatest chess players of all time. Like, he's one of the few people, like his wife gave permission for his corpse to be exhumed from its grave so that his brain could be put in a observable jar and have, you know, things plugged into it and x-rays and scan. Yeah, go ahead and just dig my dead husband's grave up and put his brain in a jar. If it's worth studying, then do it. Bobby Fischer was an incredibly interesting person. The way he thought was literally just like a freaking couple centuries ahead of the way other people thought. And it was reflected in the way he played chess. What I find interesting, though, is that after becoming the greatest chess player of all time, the Miyamoto Musashi of the chessboard, he started telling people that chess is dumb, it's stupid. If white doesn't open with Sicilian defense, then you're playing wrong. There's a reason that I play black, by the way. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I think I'm really good at chess, but I'm gonna caveat. I'm only good at chess if I'm playing black. I can't play white. I have to go second. Again, it's like in Smash Brothers. I don't encroach. I don't aggress on my opponents. I make them come to me. I see what they're going to do first, and then I react. I don't chase. I don't hunt. And then Bobby Fischer was just like, this meta game is stupid. White only has one opening move, and that means that black basically has only two possible opening moves, and every single game has to be predicated upon that opening. It's stupid. There's no self-expression in this anymore. Bobby Fischer created a new rule set. Now, there have been many rule sets for chess throughout history. There's more than I can name or count, frankly. But one of my favorites is Fischer Random. There's a couple variations of it, as far as I know. But the main Fischer Random is that you have all your pawns in the same, you know, initial positions as you would in a regular chessboard. But all of your power pieces, including your royals, are placed at complete random. Maybe your queen's where your rook's normally going to start. Maybe your king is all the way on the far right side of the board, and if you castle, suddenly you're not limited to just the two iterations of castling that can very easily be prevented by a single bishop, knight, or rook, depending on where you've attacked the pawn line. You may be able to castle across the entire freaking board. Who knows? You know, and that kind of self-expression, the different variations of setups that can result from that, and the fact that you can't continuously reapply the same mundane strategy on every single fight against every single opponent because your starting lineup is different every time. Now we are truly expressing ourselves against each other. This is what chess truly should be. Expression on the board. That is what the greatest chess player of all time believed. But look at the state of it now. Did anyone listen? Like I said, Bobby Fischer was thinking way ahead of everyone else. You play games these days? Surely you've seen a randomizer by now, right? I mean, they're everywhere. There's games that have been out for a year that have randomizers, and people are so into those these days. Now we got randomizers that combine the first Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, the first Metroid, and Super Metroid into a single homogeneous mess where all of their power-ups are scattered across multiple games. Randomizers are everywhere now, and everyone loves them because now they get to express themselves through a game that they understand. They know how to play all of these games. They understand all of the functional mechanics of how to speed run them. They've mastered the meta efficiency, but now it's time for something more. Anyway, just my musings for the morning, I suppose. You'll have a good one. God bless.